Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. All right, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say today. Oh my goodness, we have immediately I see a wilderness god with the reindeer or deer head and antlers. Okay, and you can see kind of the body beneath right here. Oh, and it looks quite regal, actually. So this is a beautiful symbol to start with. We know that the deer is a most sacred animal to experience in the interior or in the real world. Okay, hopefully not in front of the car. That's bad. But when you come upon a group of deer or a singular deer as you're walking through a wooded area, it can be quite startling, but it is also something that is so majestic. They are beautiful, peaceful, and so, what's the word? Observant. There is just a delicate way that they're strong. They're even fierce, especially the bucks, right? If you see a buck that's in rut, really that is a fierce beast. But the doe and the younger males, they're quite graceful, okay? And so I look at this and I think there's a moment, there's a flash of something that just kind of pulls you from inside the moment. You know, going about your day, being on autopilot, just doing the task at hand, maybe a little begrudgingly. And then there is a moment that is just so aligned in such a way that it is experiencing the divine right there, right in front of your face. And it pulls you so far out of that place that you kind of retreat to when you are just kind of getting through things, right? And so, I see and I feel that, there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of dispersion here. So there's an amount of anxiety, but there is also always a dreaminess to Cancer. And we also have the Lover's card here. Okay, so I feel that there is really a dreaminess within the realm of unity, of love, of feeling part of a greater whole, okay? Committing yourself to something, a devotion that it runs deep, something that really means something to you. And it really is brought to the surface with this moment. And you will know this moment when it happens, of course, okay? It's, sometimes these things are abrupt and next thing you know, it's just, you're in that place of flow. You are seeing the patterns. The universe is speaking to you. You feel a little bit lighter throughout your travels and your communications with others. And it all seems to be where it's supposed to, right? So let's see, what else do we have? Okay. Okay, so we have here, oh, this one's interesting. They're all interesting. I like these. Okay, so we have somebody who is holding a telescope, okay, and they are pointing, it's pointed up towards this metaphysical. Okay, so you are really, yeah, you're feeling quite impassioned by this this entanglement with spirit that you are having. You know, and this is really going to pull the magician out of you. The magi, this is what I see right here is the magi. And, you know, we know the famous magi from the story of Jesus's birth. Right? The ones that come to Bethlehem and they bring their gifts and make that offering. Well, the Magi were a, you know, an order possibly, but most likely more a class of initiation of intellectuals, of people who partook in the high arts, had some high degree of study, initiation into whatever religion, science, you know, the alchemists, the early alchemists, and so on. And so this is not unlike the magician, but also not unlike the Hierophant, kind of a merging of the two in my mind. And so a little less... the Hierophant can be kind of dogmatic, okay? Can kind of sometimes be very rigid to systems, rigid to the tenets and prescribed beliefs, okay? Whereas the magician is very fluid with the situation, is a world creator, is a, well, you have to be able to kind of go with the flow, have the intuition to work within whatever operation or ritual or ceremony or whatever you're doing. You know, whereas the Hierophant is more of, I would say, kind of a scholarly position, the high priest. And so we merge these together. We have these beautiful, you know, just a wondrous exuberance for learning, for looking at the mystery of things. You know, if that is spiritual, if that is scientific, if that is, you know, all of these emerging, interesting lines of sub-realities we have with all of the AI and technology and, you know, outer space and, you know, continuing understandings of things like quantum physics and so on. So it doesn't always have to just be religious or spirit, okay? But this, you know, and this is in line with Cancer, 100%. Definitely the Magi. So I feel you are very moved. You are in this position of, oh, I got to hit the books, get into the research, feeling that tingle of, you know, kind of a hyper focus, maybe even kind of a fixation on a new favorite thing or interest. And we also have a little boat, and it has, it looks like, and let's see if we can get this close enough. It looks like Anubis sitting there with the dog head. Okay, so we have the psychopomp, and I see, you know, it is kind of an ending to this last period. You know, saying goodbye to the things that were, and that doesn't take long for you. You kind of do your thing, and when it starts to break apart, and I see this, and I almost wonder if this is kind of the resolution of maybe a romantic situation or just some kind of friendship, possibly. But I don't know, because here I also see two people, a head and a head, one with long hair, one with kind of a hat, and then above it, it looks like maybe some kind of message there. But this to me looks like not unlike this image, the Lovers. So I don't think that your primary romantic relationship is in trouble, but I do think that, you know, there's some relationship, maybe a partnership, maybe somebody you spent a lot of time with, that seems to be kind of in a state of dissolution, okay? And that's where we see the end of this, the psychopomp, Anubis kind of taking that relationship into the great. And so, you know, you quickly move into other things. This is where you get involved in your next hobby, your next interest, your next beloved thing. And I think that that's not an abnormal cycle for you, okay? Not that you can't keep friends or you have troubles with relationships, but I don't think that they are usually your primary source of fulfillment. They're something that adds to your life, but they are not the focus, okay? And so we also have a butterfly and a crescent moon over the top of the butterfly. Okay, so again, in line with Cancer energy, a lot of evolution. This is a big emotional evolution happening, metamorphosis. This next year, I think, is going to be one of, I feel like there's a sense of being certain, you know, about your life right now. I feel like you are going to be in a place where you make some big decisions about maybe where you want to live, your career, you know, resorting things a bit, changing the routine a little bit, whatever it is, it's going to change how you're living to some degree. But I think that more now than ever, where you've kind of been, you know, just kind of going with the flow, doing what you can, I think you're going to be in a position where you can make a big decision, and this will be lasting for a while. Okay. Now I also see we have the crab, of course, right here. And we have a person who is standing here, and then the head, and out of the head is a sprout that looks like it's starting to bloom. Okay, so I look at this and I think, okay, you are definitely in a place where you've been quite innovative. You're in a place where you are coming up with some, and this maybe this big shift will be within your career, within your work, within your creative life. Almost, you know, not just a new cycle of things, but like the next act in your magnum opus, right? And so this is going to be an important shift. Okay, and those ideas are already there. You already kind of have an idea. What are you going to be? Is this a new, like a new book, a new fan fiction, a new kind of music that you're going to be doing? Maybe this is a, you know, new side hustle that really is going to take hold. You know, maybe you are going to be creating something, whatever it is. I was just thinking myself, I'm working on a zine for Saturnalia. And so maybe you'll be doing something like that. You know, I don't know. I can't really tell what it is, but I do know that it's going to be important to you. Not only could it be monetary gain, but I think more than anything, this is something that's feeding your soul. You know, this is something that's making you feel like, okay, I want to get out of bed and I want to work on this thing. And I have so many ideas. I can't wait to get to it. Okay. Now, we also have the angel We have an angel with a sword. We also have a sun, and splitting the sun there, which is interesting. You know, I don't think it's uncommon for for Cancer to be kind of moving toward, oh, and this is cool. This is like a side profile. Eye, nose, mouth, chin. You can kind of see right here. But anyways, splitting the sun there. And I think, you know, moving towards the night side once again. Which I don't think that Cancer comes far out of the night side too often. But this could quite literally be that you are going into a schedule of being awake at night, maybe working overnight. But this also could be that you're going into some shadow work that aligns with all of these other projects that are going on. That you are kind of maybe withdrawn into this world. You are secluded a bit. You are really in that lunar energy. Not the illusion so much, but it is in some ways, I guess. But it is like the magician, okay? Creating the realm with which you work, okay? Creating your own interior laboratory. I feel like the moon gets a bad rap, especially in tarot, at least sometimes, because the idea of delusion or illusion, that's scary to people. We want the truth. We want some, clear and precise thing. And that's understandable. It makes us feel safe. But then there are some creatures that live in those darker places, that move in these creative realms. The land of active imaginations, the dream worlds, the astral, maybe really heavily into role-playing, video games, some kind of ARG, whatever it is. These are fuel for that inspiration, for that desire to meet the day, right? To get up because you have something that is so interesting and immersive and makes you feel something, And when I see the moon card, these are kind of the feelings that I get. Somebody who is masterful in these shadowy places. And, nobody better for that than Cancer. Yes. Okay, so let's take a look. We have anxiety. We have some anxieties. But it feels like I'm turning. Show me what this is. Okay. So there's some anxiety, but it is so much about getting going. Okay. The anxiety, I think, is about your having to do the tedious things, the things that you don't really care for. The stuff that's just, what is that called? I can't think of it. I don't know what it's called. But basic things, cleaning the house, making the bed, hygiene, extra hygiene stuff. Sometimes for me, my big thing, brushing my hair. My hair is so long and I like it long. For me, it's the sign of my heritage, my power, a lot of different things. It's a spiritual symbol to me. But it is an honor, it is a privilege, and is a lot of work to keep it clean and to keep it brushed. That's what I think, it's executive functions. So these are things that are just, the things that we do to take care of ourselves, the things that, paperwork, appointments, organizing, all kinds of stuff. Sometimes this can be so overwhelming. Okay. And I use these words, you maybe are familiar with them. I am a neurodivergent person. So this is some of the language that I use because, it's familiar to me. But if it's not to you, you don't have to be, somebody who has, any kind of, diagnosis or whatever. That's not what this is about. But we all have, at times, troubles, just wanting to do the dang old thing, right? And so, I think that there's anxiety around that. There's anxiety about being motivated in that area versus doing the thing that really, really has your interest right now. So, it's got to work on doing some balancing stuff there, staying accountable to yourself, making sure that you have at least one or two things that you get done a day that are important. If you're struggling on that level with getting them done, there was a lady in my life when I was younger, when I was going through I was just in a bad mental health spot for quite a few years, but this was one of the really hard parts. And, she told me, Lenore, sometimes you just have to congratulate yourself when you just get up and take the trash out. You just get a shower that day. That might sound silly to some people, but sometimes it can be on that level. And I think more people understand that than not, So, when we get into these places, whatever we can manage, and trying to just balance, be proactive and where we can, and the baby steps, that great movie with Bill Murray, what about Bob? Baby steps with things. And I'm all about that. My tough days, I do the baby steps where I can, and you have to be soft with yourself, and sometimes the dishes don't get done. Sometimes, we decide to spend more time doing our art than cleaning the floors. And, in the long run, in the big, big picture, the grand scheme of things, will you remember that day that you, left the clothes in the dryer so that you could go outside and, paint something? No. No. At least that's not the part that you're going to remember, right? So anyways, let's look at these dreamers, the Dreamers deck, 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams from the I Know collection. And I'm just going to flip through. I think I want to go back here. I always pick from the front a little bit. Okay, it says, I know that nothing bad lasts forever. Even when my emotions tell me otherwise, I am never stuck. Yeah. Is that true, TT? Yes. She's here to agree with me. I'm never stuck. No, you are not. It might feel like it sometimes, but we find a way, don't we? All right. So, Cancer, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean so much to me. And I love you. I love you. I love you. We will talk again very soon.